Okay, today we're going to be changing the brakes on my son's 2017 F-150. We've got all the stuff here. Are you excited?
Yep.
All right. And there's one thing we do have to do is we have to put the truck in service mode because it has an electronic parking brake setup. So I've been watching YouTube videos on that, and we're going to go ahead and try that now. We'll see how that works. Okay, so from what I've seen on YouTube, it's pretty straightforward. You hold the accelerator all the way to the floor, you push on the parking brake button, you put the key in, and you don't start it, you just turn it up to the accessory, turn it off, within 5 seconds, turn it back on again, and then let up, and it should, I can hear the noise right now. And if you come up front here, Scott, you'll see where it says park brake maintenance mode. Whoop, hold on a second, right there. So we should be good to go. Okay, one thing that's very important is to make sure that you put the jack in a very secure place. So I've got it underneath that U-bolt bracket for the rear end. And then I also always put a jack stand up. You never want to take a chance on that thing coming off. So at this point, we're going to undo this wheel and pull the wheel off. I've got the air compressor. One of these days I'm going to get a cordless air ratchet. Scott, remember that for Christmas or my birthday? So let's get this thing done. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this caliper and we're going to remove it. So you've got two 13 millimeter bolts here that we're going to undo. Sometimes these are a little bit tricky. So one thing we need to do is we need to put a nut end on this side right here. So there's a nut here, 17 millimeter. You want to just hold that, and because you don't want that piston spinning, and you just unloosen this. You can hold it and do it by hand. Okay, do the same thing over here. There. So what we're going to do, this just comes out, so we're going to pop this out. There we go. Okay, we're just going to rest that right in there. So your piston, as your brake pads wear, your piston comes out more and more. So when you put new pads on, we have to push that piston back in because you don't have any room here. And I'm going to show you how worn these are. So there's literally nothing really much left on these. So it's time to get these out and put the new ones in. We're going to put new clips in. So let's get these off and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so we're gonna move this other pad off. Okay, and then this right here. So sometimes these, from being on here so long, they need a little persuasion. Okay, sure your neighbors love that. Probably won't get too many Christmas cards this year. So one of the things I like to do too is just to get in here, clean this up a little bit. Okay, so let's get these clips off. So we're gonna pull that off. Okay, so we're gonna get these on the same way. So just like that. These are a little tricky sometimes, so it's usually easier to start it on one side. Let me just, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's that one. Okay, so always keep track of how it went on. It came off. Okay, there we go. New clips on. So then what we want to do on the brake pad, or the rotor I mean, is you want to spray off and wipe it off just in case there's any oil on there. I don't know if it would hurt anything, but you don't want to take a chance. And you always know a good brake rotor because see how it's painted? The cheaper ones are just metal and they rust. So we're just gonna spray that off a little bit and get off all the oil. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. You don't have to go crazy with it, but okay. We're gonna put this on. Now, one thing with the grease, you want to grease any surface that's going to be moving back and forth or it'll squeak. And so we're going to grease those pads up. So what I normally do is you just want to grease all the surfaces that are going to be on those clips. Okay, so okay, that's that one. A little more grease. So we've got that. So now what we're going to do real quick is we are going to put this, run this piston back in. And so I just, I have an old tool that I've had for several years that broke, but I still use it. And it's just a little trick that I found. First of all, we want to figure out what size this is. And I think it's 9/16 if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So I take an old brake pad, okay, and I put it here. I'm going to put it this way. Let me get this. This works like a charm and it's very cheap. You could also use a C-clamp, but this to me is a lot easier. So as you tighten it, it's going to push against that brake pad and push that piston right in. Take your time with it too. It's already starting to go in. Okay, we're gonna start bolt here. Just want to keep this. This is my 17, and I'll probably clean that off again with the parts cleaner. The rotor. The rotor, yeah. Get it started right now. And then I'll tighten it up in a second. Okay. Get this tight. Go this way with it. Okay. Okay, let me just spray that off a little bit. Okay, so everything's on here. So once we put our foot on the brake for the first time, it'll pinch those against this rotor and it'll be tight. So we can put the wheel on at this point and we'll be good to go. Okay, so I usually go in like I'll tighten one up, snug it up here, snug it up, do the same, and then I'll go back and just hit them to where they stop. So okay, so now I'll go back and there you go. Okay, so coming around to the front brakes here, and these are a little bit different. You've got these two, hold on a second here, these two screws or bolts that hold on the caliper, but then you've got this bracket right here, and these are, I don't know if you can see this or not. Give me a check. Chance here, hold on. Right there. So these are usually a little bit tight, so it's going to take a minute to get these out, but I'll show you when we get them out. So these bolts right here that hold on this caliper assembly, or whatever you call it, the brackets assembly, these are a bear. I had to use a breaker bar to get them off. Not too bad if you can use a pipe and a breaker bar, they come off, but they have the red thread locker on them. And I get why they're on so tight, because think about it, that's holding all your brakes together. So yeah, once you get this off, as you can see, it's coming right off. The rotor, sometimes you have to pound with a hammer to get off. Especially if they've been on for a while, which they usually are. So don't give up, just keep trying. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put our foot to the floor. We're gonna pull up on this electronic parking brake, and then we're gonna turn the key. We're not gonna start it, but we're gonna turn the key forward, turn it off, forward, turn it off, and that's the reset for the electronic brake. I can't do it with one hand though, so trust me. So that was all 4 brakes on my son's 2017 F-150. Wasn't too bad. So saved him some money, and it was a lot of fun working with my son. So until next time, thank you for watching Fix It Warrior, and we'll see you later.